comes where you only need to identify that the quantities are linked by direct proportion or inverse proportion. So let's solve that type of question in the start of the class today. So question is, which of the following are in inverse proportion? State the assumption. Okay. So first we need to do two things in this question. First is that we need to identify that are they linked with direct proportion or inverse proportion. And secondly, we need to see, okay, what is the assumption? I told you in the proportion questions, apart from the two quantities we are comparing, the rest of all the things are taken as constant. So that is the assumption we are making. Okay. So we will write down both of them for every part, starting with the first one. First question is that you need to tell what kind of relation interest and rate of interest and amount of interest is having. So I want you to raise your hand for the answer. What do you think? Amount of interest and rate of interest. Think about it and then raise your hand for the answer. Are they linked by direct proportion or inverse proportion? Yes, Tathir.
Direct proportion, because as the rate of interest increases, the amount of interest as well increases.
Very good. Excellent. So this is direct proportion. Why? Because if the rate of interest is high, the amount is also high. If the rate of interest is low, then the amount is also low. Okay. So now we need to see what is the assumption in this particular question. So can you think of anything in this scenario which we are keeping constant? Please raise your hand for the answer. Can you think of anything which can be considered as or which can be assumed as a constant value in this question? So like, for example, constant can be the amount on which we are getting the interest. Obviously, that is a constant value. If we will change the principal amount, the amount which is submitted for the interest in the bank, for example, so that if that is changing, so then this is no more direct proportion. Okay? So assumption is, for example, amount is constant. Okay? Which amount? The principal amount. इसको हम principal amount कहते हैं. Principal amount is constant. Principal amount is the amount which is submitted in the bank, जिसके ऊपर आपको interest मिलता है. ठीक है? That is called the principal amount. For example, if you are submitting a particular amount in bank, so for example, आपने 10 lakh rupees जो है वो बैंक में submit करा दिए. So now you are getting interest of 2%, for example, yearly based interest is 2%. So then, you know, in this scenario, amount of interest and rate of interest may, we are assuming that the principal amount is constant for all the scenarios. Okay? So now the next question, number of burgers and their cost. So first of all, which proportion is this? Raise your hand for the answer. Which proportion? Tawassal. Direct proportion. Why do you think so, Tawassal?
Ma'am, because there are telling a number of workers to number of cost.
So if the burgers are more, then the cost would also be
More.
More. If you are buying more burgers, cost will be more. If you are buying less burgers, cost will also be less. So very good. This is example of direct proportion. So what can be assumption here? I think so this part you feel is a tricky part. So can anyone think of any assumption in this scenario? What we are taking as a constant?
What is assumption?
Assumption is like the thing you are taking as a constant. कि आप assume कर रहे हैं कि वो constant है. जी हाशिम.
The cost.
कॉस्ट तो क्वांटिटी है ना जिसको कंपेयर करें, कांस्टेंट क्या ले रहे हैं? देखिए कॉस्ट तो कांस्टेंट नहीं हो सकती ना, cost will be more if the number of burgers are more, cost is less if the burgers are less. So what is assumption here? देखिए assumption can be that you are buying from the same shop, ठीक है? assumption can be that the burgers are same. ऐसा नहीं है एक जिंगर बर्गर है, एक माइटी जिंगर है, एक बीफ बर्गर है, इस तरह नहीं है. assumption is that all burgers are same, you know. But are you clear now? Okay, what is assumption? Assumption is that the thing we are keeping constant. Okay, all the burgers are same. That can be one assumption. We are buying from the same shop. That can be another example. Okay, so these are called assumptions in the scenario. The things you are keeping constant. Okay, so next is speed of a racing car and the time taken by it to reach the destination. So first of all, what kind of proportion is this? Speed of car and the time taken. Ji Hashim.
Inverse.
It is inverse proportion. Why? Why Hashim?
Because more the speed of the car, less time taken to reach.
Excellent. The speed would be more, time would be less. If the speed is less, it will be, you will take more time to reach the destination. What can be assumption here? What is assumption in this scenario? There can be many things.
Distance.
Can you name one?
Distance.
Sorry,
road
who said that?
Same
Speed
road.
तो हम change कर रहे हैं ना बेटे. So
Same
somebody
car.
said
Same
distance, but I cannot see. Who said that distance?
Sham.
Very good, Hisham. So first thing is distance. We are assuming that distance in both scenarios are constant. So then Hashim said road. We are taking this example that road is a constant. ऐसा नहीं कि एक motorway पे चल रही है और एक जो है वो Bhon road पे चल रही है. You know, that is a different scenario. So road is also a same road. ठीक है? So then the petrol or the diesel the cars are using, they are also same. The cars are same. You know, ऐसा नहीं किया जैसे हमने discuss किया था कि one is Mehran and other is Lamborghini, for example. So that will not work. It means that apart from speed and time, rest of all the things are taken as constant. Okay? So next now, please raise your hand for the answer. Next is time taken and distance traveled by a car. Anyone from girls? Time and distance traveled by car. Apart from people who are raising hand, anyone else? From girls, maybe someone? Zoya, ji bete. Time and distance, what do you think is the relation?
Ma'am, it's a direct proportion because the more there will be the distance and the more the time will be taken.
Excellent. It's a direct proportion because if you have more time, definitely you are going to cover more distance. If you are having less time, so less distance will be covered. Or the other way around, we can think like how Zoya is explaining. If the distance is less, you will take less time to reach the destination. If the distance is more, then definitely it will take you more time. So what are the assumptions in this? Anyone? What are assumptions?
Road.
Road is one assumption. Very good. The same as before. Road. G. Speed. Speed this time is a constant value. ठीक है हम G. Speed is a constant. This is assumption that we are saying the speed of the two cars are same. Okay. Next is, please raise your hand for the answer. Area of land and its price. Area and its price. Area of land and the price. Ji Hisham. No. Ji Hisham. No, Tawassul, no. Hisham ji bete. It is direct proportion. Why?
Because if the area of land increase, so its price also increase.
Definitely, that makes sense. If you are buying more land, then you will have to pay more price. If you are buying less land, then you need to pay less. So what would be assumption? This is very interesting. What would be assumption in this case? Ji Hisham.
Land.
Anyone else? Land, meaning by? Ji Hashim, you want to say something, bete?
The shape of land.
Shape of land?
Yes, ma'am.
What do you mean by shape of land?
I'm like, ये जरूरी तो नहीं कि square या rectangle हो.
So do you think square या rectangle से land पे की price पे कुछ फर्क पड़ता है? अच्छा तमाजिर, जी बेटे, what do you think?
But
Price per unit area.
Excellent,
Price of
excellent. So price per unit area या फिर price of location, price per unit area. This is very important and very precise answer, you know. So I was expecting a layman answer, but this is very precise. For example, if you are buying land in, let's say, in Lahore, and if you are buying land in Chakwal, so which land would be more expensive? Or if you're buying land in Chakwal, or if you are buying land in some of the village, so which one be more expensive?
Chakwal.
The one you are buying in Chakwal, that is, you know, having more worth. Chakwal may be different areas, may price of land is different. So, you know, the apart from yes, area and price, the price of land depends on in which location you are buying that land. ठीक है? So similarly, जैसे हम कहते हैं कि front इस जगह का front बहुत अच्छा है जी, road के साथ उसकी front बहुत अच्छा आ रहा है. So the land where the front of that land is more, that price is high. If you are buying a land which is, you know, inside कुछ घरों में घिरी हुई है कहीं मॉलों में है, तो that will be having low price. The one at the main road would be having different price. So basically, this is a very important factor, and in this question, we are keeping it a constant. We are ignoring this thing, or we are taking it a constant value. And then we are saying that area and price are directly proportional because we are keeping the other things constant. Ji Hashim, you were saying something?
Ma'am, like if the soil is full of nutrition.
That can also be one factor. Yes, excellent. That is also one factor. No doubt in that. Okay. So next question is number of laborers and the time taken by them to complete some task. So number of laborers and time.
Inverse.
Somebody else. Tawassal, please wait. Hashim,
that-
mute your mic. Bete. No, nobody will answer. So I want answer from somebody else. No, not Tathir also. Somebody else. Arslan, Manar, Momina, Narmeen, Zoya, Arshman. Ji bete. What do you think is the relation between number of laborers and the time taken by them to complete a task? What do you think is the relation? Arshman? Ji bete.
It is an inverse proportion because the more the number of laborers, the less time taken.
Excellent. It is inverse proportion because if you have more number of laborers, so then the time will be less. So what is the assumption in this case? What we are taking constant. There is very important factor which we are taking constant in this scenario, which in real life cannot be constant. Ji, Tamazir, you want to say something, bete?
Yes, ma'am. Work remain constant.
So work remain constant, you know, human body or humans cannot work equally, you know, this cannot be the thing which is constant in real life. जरूरी नहीं है कि हर इंसान एक जितना काम करे एक particular time में, ठीक है?
Ma'am,
So there are
task.
more considerations. Task can also be taken as a constant. ऐसा नहीं कि एक कोई simple task कर रहा है और एक बंदा कोई complicated task कर रहा है. So we are taking task as a constant. We are taking work load as a constant. The work every person is doing. ठीक है? We are taking that. Sorry. Age can be yes because of the work and task. ठीक है? So age can be also a constant maybe. It's like how you think. ठीक है? So I hope this is clear. So moving on to next question. So I want others to answer. Aruj, Manal, Fatima, Narmeen. Bete, I want you to answer this question. Distance traveled and the cost of ticket. Distance travel and the cost of ticket. Anyone else? Any new student, I want you to answer. Anyone who have not answered. Hisham, you've already answered, Bete. The Thir have answered. What about Jafar? I can see Anaya is there. Manal, ji bete Manal. Aruj, I will ask you another one. Ji Manal, what do you think?
More the distance traveled, more the cost of the ticket. So it's direct
So, but
proportion.
excellent. It is direct proportion. As Manal said, the more distance, the more would be the price of the ticket. यहाँ से पिंडी जाएंगे तो टिकट की प्राइस कम होगी. यहाँ से अगर आप लाहौर जाएंगे तो टिकट की प्राइस ज्यादा होगी. ठीक है? So now, what is the assumption? Aruj, can you tell me assumption? What we are keeping as constant? Can you tell me, bete? Ji, Hisham, Hashim,
Car.
Hisham, ji, bete. What do you think? Car,
Car.
you know? All right. What else? Ji, Hashim, you were saying something. Tathi. Ji, Tathi.
Mean of
What do you think is
transportation.
called? Mean of your mode of transport. Excellent. So I wanted this answer, you know, mode of transport is constant. What does that mean? If you're not traveling by air, for example, if one person is traveling by air and one person is traveling by road, so definitely that will not be making sense then. Okay, we are assuming that the mode of transfer or mode of transportation is same. Okay, both are traveling by same mode. Okay, bete? Is that making sense? Because that was the last question. Any query in that? Any question?
No, ma'am.
So is it clear to all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Excellent. So do you think this topic is interesting?
Yes, ma'am.
Mhm. That's right. So this is very interesting topic and easy one if you learn it well. Bete? So now we are going to solve word problems and we will follow the same 3 steps we have learned yesterday. What were those 3 steps? First of all, we will write down the data in form of proportion. Second is we will identify direct proportion is there or inverse proportion is there, and we will put the arrows. Third step would be we will form an equation by following the direction of the arrow, and then we will solve the equation. So let's start solving this question number 2 of this worksheet. So question is, I'm zooming in so you can read. If 10 books cost $5, how much 12 books cost? So first step is, what are the 2 things we are comparing? But please keep raising your hand for the answer. Arslan, you have not answered. What are the 2 things compared in this question? Zoya, ji bete.
Ma'am, the books and the cost.
That's right, the number of books and the cost. So books are compared with the cost. So if there are 10 books, cost is $5. If there are 12 books, cost is unknown. Okay? So wherever the unknown is, we will put X there. Okay? So now tell me, what is the relation between number of books and cost? Is it direct proportion or inverse? Ji, Tawassal.
Direct.
Tawassal, ji
From
bete.
direct,
Number of books and the cost.
from direct proportion.
It is direct proportion. Okay? So both arrows will go in one direction because it is direct proportion.
Am I your screen?
ठीक. Sorry?
I can't see your screen.
All right. What about others? Can you see the screen, bete?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, Ashma, bete, try rejoining the class. Try to rejoin the class. Maybe the internet is
Ma'am.
slow at your end. Try rejoining, bete. All right. So now we will form the equation. So can you tell me what would be the equation formed? Anyone? So let's say, Arslan, beta, are you there? Can you form the equation by following the direction of arrows? Ji beta. Arslan, can you tell me, beta, what would the equation? If you will not participate in the class, then I will think you have joined the class and you are roaming in the home. You know, you're not around the device. या फिर आप गेम खेल रहे हैं क्लास ज्वाइन करके. That's what I will think, you know. You need to answer the questions, bete. So can anyone else tell me what would be the equation following the direction of the arrows? Ji Zoya.
Ma'am, it will be 12 divided by 10 is equals to x divided by 5.
Excellent. Okay. So now you can do cross multiplication. So it will be 10x is equal to 12 multiplied by 5. We will not multiply because we are following the rule that simplification is before division. So 10 is coming here. So now you can cancel 5 2s are 10, 2 6 are 12. So the answer is 6. What would be the unit? $6. Okay. Whenever there is a word problem, so you need to write down the answer unit with the answer. Okay, beta? So now the next question. Next question is, if 4 men can build a room in 5 days, so how many days will 10 men take to build the same room? Now the assumption you can see is that the same room is constructed. Okay, same room is the assumption in the question. Okay, so what are the two things compared here? What are the two quantities which are compared? Ji beta, Hisham, can you tell me?
Ma'am, days and man.
Number of men and number of
Number of
days. Okay, number of men and number of days. So number of men, if 4 men can construct a room in 5 days, so we need to find out that how many days 10 men will take. So we know that the number of men are now 10, and this is the unknown, we will put X here. So now who can tell me that what kind of proportion is this? What kind of proportion is this?
what's non-direct proportion?
Think carefully. Gee, Jafar, what do you think? जी बेटे जी the thief
Direct proportion.
bit not direct. Ji Tir, what do you think?
Ma'am, I think it is inverse proportion.
It is inverse proportion because if we are having more number of men, number of days will be less. अगर हमारे पास ज़्यादा labor होगा, तो then it will take less days to complete the work. Okay, you need to remember this is a very good example of inverse proportion. This is inverse proportion now, and can you see the direction of arrows now? So direction of arrows are in opposite direction. If one arrow is going up, the other is going down. This is the first question in which we have encountered inverse proportion. One arrow is going up, the other is coming down. So it does not matter अगर इस arrow को down कर लें, इसको up कर लें, that does not matter. ठीक है? Thus, just you need to be careful. If one arrow is going up, the other is coming down. This should be there. ठीक है? So now what would be the equation? Following the direction of arrows. Ji, anyone? Hisham.
Ma'am, 10
5
by
by
4 and
10
X
by
by
4 is
4
equal
and
to?
5 by
X by 5.
Excellent. 10 by 4 and 5 by x, not x by 5. If one is going up, so 10 by 4, 5 by x. Need to follow the direction of arrow. But any question in the formation of equation? This time the equation one part is inversed, is reversed. If it is 4 by 10, the other would be x by 5. It is 10 by 4, so this would be 5 by x. Okay, I hope there is no question. Now we will cross multiply. 10x is equal to 5 into 4. X is equal to 5 into 4 divided by 10. So you can just cancel it. 5 2s are 10 and 2 2s are 4. The answer is 2. What is the unit? X की unit क्या है?
Days.
Hisham? Days, Ashman, very good.
Days.
2 days. And now you can just quickly check that is your answer sensible? Is your answer making sense or not? So if you look at this, if 4 men were making a room in 5 days, now you have increased the labor and you have increased it till 10. Now 10 people are working on the same room. So definitely they will take less number of days, and the answer is 2 days. So that answer is a sensible answer. Ji Hisham,
Yes,
you want to
miss.
say something? Bete?
No, ma'am.
All right. So next question is, if 35 men can reap a field in 8 days, how many days can 20 men reap the same field? So can anyone tell me what is can you guess the meaning of this word reap? Reap a field. What does that mean? This word reap. Anyone? What do you think is the meaning of reaping a field? You can just Google it and tell me the answer. So who can find out the answer? जी बेटे. Tamazir ji bete.
Typically means to harvest or gather crops from a field.
Excellent. It means to harvest a field. Okay. So what are the two quantities compared? Momina, what can you answer bete? What are the two quantities compared?
Ma'am, the amount of men and how many days it will
Amount
take.
or number of men?
The
So number of
and the
men
number of days.
and the number of days. Excellent. If there were 35 men, so 8 days are required to reap the field. Now we are having 20 men and we need to find out how many days it will take. So now the second part, what kind of proportion is this? Number of men and days. Ji Zoya, ji bete.
Ma'am, inverse proportion.
Excellent. It is inverse proportion. If one arrow will go up, the other will come down because it is inverse proportion. It does not matter which arrow is going up, which is coming down. So Anaya, you have raised the hand, Betty. Can you help me in making the equation now by following the direction of the arrow? Ji bete. Anaya, Fatima, what would be the equation? Follow the direction of arrow. Anaya? Anyone else? Ji bete. Tawassal ji, can you tell me bete? Follow the direction of arrow. It would be?
Yes, ma'am.
20 by 35.
Ma'am, 20 by 35 and 4 by
All right. So we are
4
following
by
the direction of arrow. 35 by 20 is equal to x by 8.
x by 8.
Okay? Okay? I'm zooming in Tawassal so that you can see better. So we are following the direction of arrows. 35 by 20 because we are going towards the tip of the arrow. Okay? 35 by 20 x by 8. Now we will cross multiply. So 20x is equal to 35 into 8. X is equal to 35 into 8 divided by 20. So 5 sevens are 35, 5 fours are 20, 4 twos are 8. So X is coming as 14 days. So do you think this answer is sensible? Is this answer making sense?
Yes, ma'am.
So why it is a sensible answer? If 35 men were doing a task in 8 days, now the number of people are less. Definitely it will take more number of days to complete the work. It makes sense, you know. Now there are less number of people working.
They
That's
need
right.
more days.
That's right. Very good. Excellent. Okay. So bete, any question up till this point?
No, ma'am.
All right. What about others? Especially the silent members of the class. Are you having any problem? All right. So the next question is, Amir cycled a total of 6 kilometers by making 3 trips to work. How many trips will Amir have to make to cycle a total of 16 kilometers? So please raise your hand. What are the two quantities compared? What are the two quantities compared? Raise your hand for the answer, bete. Ji Hisham.
Ma'am, distance and work.
Distance and
Time.
distance and
Time.
distance and not time. Time की तो unit नहीं थी. So what is
What?
3 trips? 3 trips is not time, so we can say number of trips. ठीक है? Distance and number of trips. ठीक है? So now we will fill in the data. If 6 kilometer distance was there, so 3 trips required. Now 16 kilometer distance is there and number of trips we need to find out. So now tell me what kind of relation these two quantities are having. Distance and number of trips. Jafar want to answer. Ji bete Jafar, what kind of relation these two are having? Now distance and number of trips.
Direct proportion.
Sorry. Bete, can you say this loudly, please?
Direct proportion.
Excellent. It is direct proportion. Yeah, that's right. It is direct proportion. The more the distance, the more the number of trips. Excellent. So arrows will go in the same direction. Okay? So now, who can help in writing the equation? Following the direction of arrow. Zoya, ji bete.
Ma'am, 16 divided by 6 is equals to x divided by 3.
Excellent. 16 divided by 6 is equal to x by 3. Now we can just cross multiply. 6x is equal to 3 into 16. X is equal to 3 into 16 divided by 6. You can see I'm not multiplying this part. Okay? Because that is useless calculation. Okay? So 3 2s are 6, 2 8s are 16. So answer is 8. What will be the unit?
Trips.
Trips. 8 trips. Okay? So this question is having 3 parts. Question is, how long does it take to complete a journey of 300 miles traveling at 60 miles per hour, 50 miles per hour, and 40 miles per hour? So this is a tricky question. First part we are going to solve. So who can tell me what are the two things compared? Raise your hand for the answer, bete. Raise your hand for the answer. Ji, Hisham. What are the two things compare?
Distance and
Distance
speed.
and speed कहाँ है? Distance and how long? Not speed. What is long? How long? Anyone else?
Time.
Distance and time. How long means that we need to find out how much time is required. So now I can see that this is 300 miles and the time is unknown. But what is this 60 miles per hour? How can I fill the two sides? 60 miles per hour. Ji Hashim?
1 hour for 60 miles.
1 hour
Five.
and 60 miles. So you need to understand this unit. It is miles per hour. Miles, 60 miles in 1 hour. So it is 60:1. Okay. So the speed, the unit of speed is miles here. It is written in the question as well. It is miles. And the number of, the unit of time is hour. From where this hour is coming? This hour is coming from here. Can you understand this, Peter?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you understand this?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so now we are going to see what kind of relation this is having, distance and time. More distance, more time. So this is direct proportion. Okay?
Direct proportion.
Very good. So we can write down as 1 by x is equal to 60 by 300. Cross multiply, so 60x is equal to 300. X is equal to 300 by 60. So now you can just simplify it. The 30, 3 tens are 30, 3 twos are, balki 6 fives are 30. Okay, so it is 5. What is the unit? 5
Hours.
hours. Okay, so if 300 miles are covered, 60 miles are covered in 1 hour, so then 300 miles would be covered in 5 hours. So I'm not going to do the next two parts. I hope you can do it on your own. 50 miles per hour and 40 miles per hour. Same calculation, same method. Just in place of 60, you will put 40 and 50. Okay? So, ji bete, any questions up till this point? Ji Tamazir bete, you want to ask?
Ma'am, can you repeat the question? I didn't write.
So, bete, solve the same question for second and third part. I hope you can see here. For the second and third part, please complete these two parts on your own. We have done 60 miles per hour together. So please complete 50 miles per hour and 40 miles per hour on your own. Okay, so in place of 60, one time you will write down 50 and you will solve the same, do the same calculations. And second time you will write down 40 in place of 60 and then you will solve it again. Okay, bete? Is this point clear?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
All right. So with that, we are going to end the class today. Tomorrow would be, inshallah, the last online class. So it would be the last class tomorrow. So we will complete or we will do more questions of proportion tomorrow. Ji Hashim, you want to say something, bete?
Limited like ratio.
Sorry, it is like ratio. But you can remember the definition. Proportion is not ratio. Proportion is basically comparison of two ratios, two or more. Okay, so there is, it's not like there is one ratio, it is two ratios compared. और वो ratios किस तरह की हैं? वो equivalent ratios हैं. Actually, you are solving these kind of questions earlier as well. In the previous class, आप इस तरह question solve करते थे ना. Let's say 3:6 is equal to, let's say, 9 unknown value. So this is basically proportion. लेकिन तब आपने शायद इसको proportion का नाम नहीं दिया था. ठीक है? So now we are solving real life scenarios of proportion, and definitely we are going to do another method of solving proportion questions in the class, inshallah. So with that, we will finish the class, bete. So take care. Ji?
Are these both equal ratios?
They are equivalent ratios. Not equal, they are equivalent.
Okay, ma'am.
ठीक है? Equal वो होता है जो बिल्कुल same हो. Like 3 is equal to 3. But अगर आपने 3 is equal to 6 कहना है ना, तो आपने उसको कहना है कि it's equivalent form. 1 by 2 is equal to 2 by 4. That is called equivalent form, not equal form. ठीक है? All right. So with that, we will finish the class. Take care. Allah Hafiz. See you in the next class.
Okay, ma'am.
Allah Hafiz, ma'am.
Allah Hafiz, bete.
Have next